5-6 through 11 games is the record for the New Orleans Saints. I would have not predicted that with Derek Carr as a starting quarterback with the New Orleans Saints. Pete Carmichael is a terrible offensive coordinator. We already knew this. Dennis Allen is a terrible head coach. I already knew this as well. Derek Carr is a terrible quarterback for this team. I don't care about the numbers. His numbers are going to always look good because he's a guy that is going to go out there, stuff the stat sheet. You have to look at him in game. He is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL in the red zone and on third down when it matters the most. On money down and on money throws, he is just not there. Derek Carr today was 24 of 38, 304 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception that was a pick six to Jesse Bates. If you just look at his stat line, you will swear, hey, you know what? It wasn't a bad day. It must have been bad offensive line protection. It must have been the play calling. All that can be true. But at the end of the day, Derek Carr is not a good quarterback in the NFL. He's a guy that can go out there. He's not going to win you football games. He's not going to be the reason that you go out there and win football games. We're past that point. The wide receivers with this team, they're good. Chris Olave is a true number one wide receiver. He can get things going. But besides that, you have a huge question mark. And we saw that today when he went down. 7 catches for 114 yards, and he went down with a concussion in this game. And he had a big 51-yard catch. The thing is with Chris Olave, you can question his effort at times, but he's the best playmaker that they have at that wide receiving room. He is the best that they have. And when he went down, everyone knew they weren't going to be able to get good offensive production from those wide receivers. And I'm not trying to say that it's all on the wide receivers. Derek Carr just doesn't have that same connection with the rest of those guys, which is also another Derek Carr problem as well. They're running the wrong routes and they're not in the right situations. Now, I will say this. That was just a couple plays in this game. Taysom Hill also did fumble in this game, but I will not just hold all that in on him as well because he's a better red zone quarterback than Derek Carr. Pete Carmichael is the main reason why all of this is going wrong. The horrible offensive play calling over and over and over again. There is no reason to why you were not able to go out there and get an offensive touchdown today with the weapons that you have. You just take Derek Carr out of the game when you get into the red zone. Something they did a couple weeks ago when they went against the Jacksonville Jaguars on Thursday night. And they should have had that game won. The tight end drops the ball in the back of the red zone. But one thing that I'm looking at with Derek Carr, he just can't squeeze the ball into tight windows in the red zone. All of his situational awareness is just horrible in the red zone. He takes stupid sacks. He puts the ball in harm's way, and he just can't punch the ball in. And when you put Taysom Hill in, he's the guy that's able to go out there, use his speed, use his athleticism to just punch the ball in. Unfortunately, he fumbled today, but Derek Carr is not the right quarterback with this team moving forward. And that sucks for this team and it sucks for this franchise because you invested a lot of money and a lot of years into Derek Carr. I would let him go after this season, and I'll let Dennis Allen go as well. Dennis Allen is the big culprit with this team because he wanted Pete Carmichael to call plays. He wanted Derek Carr as his franchise quarterback, quote unquote. They have given Dennis Allen every single thing that he has wanted. He has a strong defense. He has everything, and they just cannot get things going. And we saw it last season. On the back half of the season, they won more football games. That's the only reason to why he is still with this team. He is a terrible head coach. He's a terrible game planner with this team, and he should just be a defensive coordinator in the NFL. That's it. That's the only thing that he is good at. When he is a defensive coordinator and he just worry about defensive things only. He is not a true head coach in the NFL, and it takes more than just being a good defensive coordinator to get things going in the NFL. And unfortunately for this division, they have 2 of those coaches. You have Dennis Allen and Todd Bowles for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. Dennis Allen is too conservative at times, and at other times he just depends on his defense too much. There is no reason to why this defense is going out there and they're getting multiple turnovers in games. They have a turnover in every single game this season, and they cannot capitalize on it. Being 5-6 at this point in the season is very disappointing when you look at the talent that this team has. They have DeMario Davis. They have Tyrann Mathieu. They have Marshawn Lattimore. They have Cameron Jordan. They have good players. Players are not the reason why they're losing these football games. It's the execution of coaching. And that comes from Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. And they just can't get things going. But this is what's going to happen with teams when you have a horrible head coach, a terrible offensive play caller, and a quarterback that can't score in the red zone. It seems like every time Derek Carr gets in the red zone, he's going to throw an interception, take a dumb sack, or they're going to take 3. The best offensive player in this game today was their kicker because he kicked 5 field goals today. Every single point on the board was put up by the kicker. And that's unfortunate for this New Orleans Saints team. And they're not going to get any better. It is shameful for them to go and lose to the Atlanta Falcons when you had that game in the bag with how the defense was playing. The defense made a lot of good plays today against Desmond Ridder and crew. They had trouble stopping Bijan Robinson at times, and when they did, it didn't matter as much because the offense went 3 and out, or it was an interception that went the other direction by Jesse Bates coming from Derek Carr, or Taysom Hill fumbled the football. But at the end of the day, all this falls on coaching. And all these players and the personnel decisions are underneath Dennis Allen. The New Orleans Saints have given him everything that they wanted. This team has not been the same. And it seems like the ghost of Sean Payton is still hunting this team because Pete Carmichael wants to be Sean Payton 2.0 instead of just revolving his game plan around the run game of Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams has dealt with injuries this season, but he's been a terrible signing as well. And it's not a fault of his own. The injuries, he can't help that, and they're not giving him the football enough as well. And the thing is, with Jamal Williams, he's not going to be a running back to go out there and be a home run hitter like Alvin Kamara. But one thing that he is good at is getting 2 to 3 yards in short situations. That's why he led the league in touchdowns last season. Not because he's has the same skill set as Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry. He's a guy that's good in short yardage situations. But instead of using him, they want to put Alvin Kamara out there, or then they finally want to use Taysom Hill when you don't need to. Just give the ball to Jamal Williams. But that all comes down from Pete Carmichael. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this New Orleans Saints team and what should they do after this season. I don't see this team making the NFL playoffs. And I do think the NFL should step in. If you do not have a positive record, you should not be going into the NFL playoffs. I understand that goes against everything in the history, but this division is terrible. And that's another reason to look at Derek Carr and raise some eyebrows. You're in the worst division in the NFL. You had the easiest schedule, and you're not even above 500 right now. You're below 500 by a game. And this is a perfect team for Derek Carr. When he was with the Raiders for all those years, you had people saying, well, the defense isn't there. The defense isn't there. They have all the offensive weapons. Now he has offensive weapons and he has a strong defense, and he is still choking in the NFL. He's just not a good quarterback in the league. And you can say that the wide receivers are running the wrong routes. They're cutting their routes off. They're cutting their routes off because they know Derek Carr's not going to give them the football. And when guys get open, he's either going to check the football down, or he's going to take a dumb sack, or he's going to run around. That is what Derek Carr is doing with this team. He just can't get things going, and he's a terrible quarterback. And as long as Dennis Allen is the head coach with this team, and you have Derek Carr as your quarterback and Pete Carmichael as your offensive play caller, you're going to see similar games like this for the rest of the season. Hopefully after this season, they just let everyone go and they restart this entire franchise over again with some brand new players and get some things going on the offensive end. But let me know how you feel about the New Orleans Saints in the comment section below. Can they turn things around with this coaching staff? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.